Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is in the professional bantamweight division. Please welcome to cage side, Darren Healy.
The action continues fast and furious tonight here in Birmingham, and it is the first of the bantamweights here tonight. Darren Healy, a guy with good boxing and a solid chin, always comes to entertain. Paul, always great to have a guy like this on your roster here tonight in the MMAC.
Boxer transitioning into the MMA. He's looking to unload his hands. Definitely looking to unload some big bombs here.
And good head movement as well. That's something you often see from the waist upwards from these guys. They move very confidently, slipping, rolling, bobbing, weaving. That's something I think that could be key for Healy if he wants to land a good counter shot or maybe land the first big significant strike. I'd expect a quick start from this guy. And you know what, Paul? He's got a chance.
He has indeed. If he watches what's going on and he avoids a takedown, he can drop some big uppercuts or some big bombs. We've seen it done before. Why not tonight?
We've seen it already in spades tonight, so perhaps fortune on his side. Healy is here and ready to go. The blue corner in center ring in MMAC.
And his opponent, please welcome Darren Higgins.
And although Healy has a massive edge in professional experience here tonight, Darren Higgins arrives to make his first stab at the professional division here in the bantamweights. And he is from Birmingham. A lot of noise for him, Paul, and a guy who's been working on his game through and through.
Aggressive striker, great wrestler. He's got his work cut out. He's against a boxer.
I think it's going to be a good one. And when he told us earlier that he worked on his wrestling so much in camp, that's something that's really important. Maybe the most important skill in MMA, because with that you can decide when and where this fight takes place.
You can indeed. And we've seen it here tonight. We've seen lots of it. Domination, pressure, domination, finishes. We've seen arm bars, we've seen mounts, we've seen ground and pound, and I'm sure we're set to see some explosion here in this fight.
So Daz looking really, really eager here to get in tonight. The fans out in force tonight. Hometown hero from Birmingham, feeling the love, no doubt, as Darren Higgins makes his way into the ring. We'll go back to Buddy Johnson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are set for 3 5-minute rounds in the professional bantamweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall with a professional record of 5 wins with 10 defeats, from Coventry, England, Darren Healy. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, making his professional debut this evening, from Birmingham City, Darren Higgins. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. Leon Roberts.
And so if we look at the numbers here, Higgins making his debut. Healy with the experience, the older man as well. Both men with different styles and good solid fundamentals in their skill sets respectively. Leon Roberts in charge. Round 1 here for the bantamweight matchup tonight in the MMAC.
And Higgins looking to push the pressure straight off. Healy with some good boxing there though. Looks like he's ready to poise. Ooh, big kick there.
Nice kick there from Healy. I like the fact that he countered with the right hand as well. You see the way he moves in the pocket. This guy's got a lot of ring time on the feet.
And he looks like he's got some answers.
Front leg side kick there from Healy.
Healy very postured, very calm, very sharp, switching stance.
Nice inside leg kick as well. Switching up to load up on the power.
Working on both sides. Really, really, really good defensive. And Higgins now looks like he's poised, waiting for his shot.
Beautiful check there from Higgins. Cuts across the leg with the chopping low kick, and then in midair while the kick is out, checks the return.
And Healy poised, he's ready. This guy's looking for an opening. He's looking to land some bombs. You can see it. And there with a big head kick.
Switching up. Coming up a little bit short is Healy. Check hook from Healy. Swing and a miss. Shovel
And
uppercut. And another uppercut. Some good dirty boxing there from Healy. I'm telling you, this guy is not to be underestimated. Age not on his side. 37 plays 30. Higgins the younger man, but Higgins having to resort to the clinch game.
And Higgins looking to push the pressure against the cage again to wear Healy out. He's looking for that big game against the cage.
Smart stuff. If you're on the wrong side of a trade, you could be on the wrong side of a highlight reel. And that's exactly what Higgins realized. He's in for the right stuff here.
And he's certainly doing the right thing. He's got his head poised up against the chin, and he should look now to work his way down, take those legs, and a big, big takedown.
Bicep pummel there from Healy. Healy doing everything he can to try to negate the clinch attack. He wants out of here, no doubt about it, Paul.
Doing a very good job to weather the storm, though. Fantastic. And Higgins pushing the pressure. Healy there with a short elbow.
Warning there for a 12-6 from Roberts. Again, it's all about the trajectory from the 12 o'clock position to the 6 o'clock. North-south, if you will.
And Higgins now pushing. Nice knee from Healy.
And another one, but it goes
Low
off sides. That was definitely a low blow. It's so tough when you're in the clinch there, Paul, when often you're sort of banking on your training, banking on your situational awareness. You can't even necessarily see the target area. No surprises. Higgins goes off sides.
And there's no malice there. There's no malintention. It just happens.
And we'll have up to 5 minutes to recover here for Healy. Under the rules, both fighters sent to the neutral corners. A verbal warning for Daz Higgins from Leon Roberts. Unintentional. Higgins versus Healy rolls on tonight in Birmingham.
Healy set now. He's looking for big shots, and he's looking to land some bombs here.
Higgins got clipped. Higgins has got to keep those hands up. Sometimes a low guard has its merits, but he's getting lit up a little bit by Healy right now.
Healy's got some great striking. He's throwing some big kicks. He's poised. He's ready to go, and he's doing all the right things.
He also has some dynamic kicks, a couple good spins there. What I like about Healy is the fact that he always comes to fight and fight aggressively. Big left. Beautiful straight punches there. And Healy again.
Healy landing some fantastic shots here. He's really finding his pace here. And Higgins now needs to find an answer to these shots. He needs to find some sort of answer here.
Higgins is certainly measuring up his strikes, but I feel like standing in front of Healy is the wrong tactic. Changing the angle would be better.
Well, when you have great wrestling and you're on the wrong end of some big bombs, you need to close the distance, get them down, and wear them down.
Beautiful long knee there from Healy. Healy just growing in confidence.
Healy striking excellent. Powerful hands. Higgins needs to watch that right.
Short check there from Healy. Kick, catch, and a right hand return from Higgins. I like what Higgins is doing right now, but he's playing with fire.
Well, Healy changing stance constantly to confuse Higgins, and he's throwing off both sides. And he does again. And he's getting ready to switch it up. And lovely big trade again. And he needs to keep going and keep delivering.
Healy with a solid connection. But again, this has been his downfall generally. It's the fact that occasionally he causes so much frustration for his opponents in the upright. They think about the takedown, and that can be the problem. But for the most part, Healy avoiding those bad positions and keeps it upright. Well done for Healy.
Well done indeed. And Higgins now trying to push the pressure to get him against the cage. And he really needs to work now to get his opponent down or wear him down. At the moment, it looks like he's just trying to survive.
10-second clappers gone here. In a round that's frankly felt like hours. So much excitement. That's the end. We'll go to an intermission here. How do you see it so far, Paul?
I see it, Healy all the way. He's landed some big shots. Higgins has tried to come back, but Healy has dominated the octagon.
And the key, I think, as you alluded to for Healy, is mixing things up, remaining unpredictable, the more complete stand-up package, the stance swap. A lot to write home about.
Very, very good stand-up. Higgins needs to come out now. I'm sure his corner are telling him right now, you need to cut him off, stop taking those shots, get him down, and dominate from the bottom.
Well, what a round it was. 5 minutes in the books, 5 minutes scheduled for the next one coming right up. One thing that really sticks out right now as far as a corner versus corner analysis is that Healy is hardly even breathing hard. Higgins also looks really recovered. When you're standing in your corner throughout the intermission, that also says a lot.
That says a lot.
Well, one more ready for the fans tonight, packed out in Birmingham. Seconds out, says Leon Roberts. The door will close. Leon Roberts, one of the very best in the business. Chris Hoekstra on the mic alongside Paul Dynamite Saunders. Healy versus Higgins continues tonight in Birmingham.
And Healy with the head kick. And Healy once again, pressure, pressure, pressure.
Spinning back elbow from Higgins. Right knee to the midsection lands from Healy.
And he's put the pressure on again. The head's underneath the chin. And he's really trying to dominate him up against the cage. Really needs to look for the takedown here to dominate and stop those big, big bombs from Healy.
And a lot of battle for head position right now. What I like from Healy is the fact that he hits a beautiful interruption of the balance and incredibly puts Higgins down in a blink of an eye. Well done for a half guard recovery. Full guard now for Higgins. That was sloppy from Healy. Healy gave up what was side control. Let's see what Higgins has got off his back.
Well, Higgins there looks like he's working for a high guard. He looks like he's trying to dominate here. Healy really needs to keep tight or to rise up and pass that guard. And as we've seen, get the mount and dominate.
Look at the collar tie here from Higgins, pulling his opponent into the guard. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu 101, especially if that guard is open.
And that's wide open. That is excellent control. Absolutely excellent from Higgins.
One post on the hip, the other hiking up. A little bit of a shift to the hips here. You get the motions right all at once in combination. Referee in charge, Leon Roberts calling for action. Not enough from Healy, not enough from Higgins.
Higgins looks like he's setting up the armbar. Healy needs to get back to his feet and take this where he's comfortable.
Roberts looking very carefully here. Me personally, I see Higgins working, and I see Healy thinking about trying to step over here, which he does successfully.
Healy now needs to come up with some big answers, or this is going to be stood up. It's very, very stagnant at the moment.
Shoulder pressure here. Trying to slide out. If Higgins holds on, he'll be able to get that stand up. That'd probably be the smart thing to do right now, rather than risk getting past.
Very, very smart.
Look at him grapevining in, getting that figure four. Healy with tons of pressure, trying to slide out here.
And Higgins just shutting him down, keeping the pressure, holding the guard, holding him down, making it stagnant so he gets stood up. And that's exactly the right thing to do.
Big shots again. And what is fascinating to watch here is Healy's gift of a takedown recovered by Higgins. Healy now nearly passed. Not enough though.
And
a nod from Healy, an acknowledgement from Higgins. We're back to the stand-up.
And a great call there by the referee to stand them up. And now we're going to see some action. Healy really needs to pressure it, but Higgins looks like he's coming back with some answers here. And Healy is fearless, and we're back down.
Incredible charge there from Healy. I think, again, Higgins' surprise. So much in the kickboxing shown from Healy. Something we also knew was a strong suit. The hands, the feet. But Healy presses the takedown. What a shocker.
Absolutely. And we're back where we were moments ago with Healy on top and Higgins surviving underneath. Healy now just putting a little bit of pressure on him. He needs to make sure he can move and improve, or once again we're going to see this back to his feet.
What to me is so tremendous is the fact that we saw a man completely shift tactics in Healy, where on one occasion or two, he really caused so much frustration that Higgins thought about pressing the takedown. And now we see Healy conserving energy, fighting smart, avoiding getting submitted or swept, and he's controlling this fight.
And he's doing a great job. He's doing an absolutely great job. And he's running some big elbows there, but he's got to watch that guard.
He's got to be clinical in all positions. Dot every I, cross every T.
And if he's not careful here, those hips are going to go high, and he's trying to set up the armbar here. Healy needs to keep him down, rain some elbows, or hold the clinch down and get stood up.
It would be a mistake to stop paying attention to the guard work of Higgins and get caught by surprise. And that's what Healy's doing here. He's staying busy enough to not get stood up. And he's doing what he can to try and cause some frustration for Higgins. I like the elbows from Higgins off the back here.
And Higgins going high again. He's trying to set up the armbar. He keeps pushing. He's going from low guard to high guard. He's doing all the right things.
The end of the round. Man, what a contest here. What a contest. As both Healy and Higgins continue to display a real mix of skills. And sometimes, although you consider someone a purist in a style, i.e., for example, with Healy being a great stand-up artist, or Higgins, for example, doing what he was doing earlier, it takes a wise implementation of the timing of when you just go a different direction. And that's what Healy did so well there in the last round.
He did indeed. He spotted the opportunity. He changed position. He confused Higgins. And when Higgins was ready for the answers, Healy changed again and scored the takedown.
Well, we are set up for a thrilling conclusion here tonight. And one more round will decide the winner. It's been another great candidate for a possible fight of the night. Again, I love the lighter weight classes because of the work rate. 135 pounds, the bantamweight division, Healy versus Higgins, goes towards the finish line. 5 minutes on the clock. Robert says, let's go, round 3.
And here we go. Healy now needs to put the pressure on Higgins. I think we're going to see some big trading here. And Healy throwing some bangers. Look, he's really swinging. But Higgins, he's holding his own. He's throwing the pressure. Big, big shot there.
Huge connection again.
And they're firing some big bombs.
2-3-2 is the choice for Healy. Higgins looking to pull the counter and actually throw punches at the same time of Healy. One of the things that he was trying to do there was time Healy's 2-3-2 with a right hand straight down the pipe. Wild. But it's another offsides play. Probably not close enough to what we saw earlier in the round of the first stanza for Roberts to consider something intentional.
Again, very, very unlucky, unintentional kick there.
There were some early low blows as well. Obviously, also Higgins hitting Healy.
Heavy.
What a show of Budo spirit, the respect between both competitors, already very deep in a competitive matchup. And Higgins says, let's go. He says, give me your best shot.
He's going him on saying, come on, let's go. Let's throw down. And Healy answers with a big, vicious knee and some big bombs.
One of the things Healy does so well is as he moves forward, he switches up. That gives you more power, more trajectory, more distance, more acceleration, more power.
And Higgins here has got him poised up against the fence, and he just needs to work. He really needs to work in this clinch to improve his position.
Do you suspect that Higgins wants the takedown? Do you suspect that he wants top control?
Higgins definitely wants the takedown, but again, Healy's going for it, and he gets it.
Underrated takedowns from Healy. If you looked at the fight history, it's usually the problematic aspect for Healy is that he doesn't have the grappling necessary to avoid being taken down. Interesting again, just like the last round, he's the one pushing the pace in that department.
He is indeed, and what some great different transitional skills we've seen from Healy. He's been on top, he's been in side control, he's really pushed the pace here.
Healy has given Higgins nothing for free. And also, he's really given him no time to set up in some of those positions.
Higgins is really having to work to survive off his back here. And Healy is really pushing the pressure, although it looks from this angle, Higgins is trying to set up some sort of Kimura.
Maybe a hip bump sweep there. Tough to tell. But the pressure, if you notice the way that Healy shifts his weight, makes that very difficult to succeed with.
And Higgins again, under pressure, on his back, playing the survival game, playing the waiting game, try and get those hips up and set up some sort of submission.
Not enough action. Again, says Leon Roberts.
And a fantastic call there by Leon Roberts. Now we need to see some bangers. Healy needs to really start unloading here.
Healy
And
with
again.
a long left. You just get the feeling one of these two is going to connect. And a long left hand again from Healy.
And again, we're back to the clinch again. And Higgins pushing the pressure against the cage, this time delivering some vicious knees to the outside thigh.
One of the things I think that is the takeaway message of the last couple of minutes is that Higgins has a little bit more gas in the tank right now. He's happy to get into the clinch and tire out Healy. On the flip side, though, Healy, with that experience, being a veteran, he's still accurate and he's still got power.
And he's composed. He understands what the pressure's about and the staying game and keeping composed and looking. And it looks like there's an unintentional knee to the head there.
No, you're not allowed to play the game. There's been a swap of the rules, so one hand down is still legal. Higgins, I think, forgot about that for a moment, and Healy did the right thing, actually. They've just had a change in the rule sets here, so 2017, some new additions. And you're not allowed to play that game anymore. So Roberts making the correct call, and as well, the educated decision there from Healy.
And again, a good reversal. And Higgins now really, really needs to put the pressure on. Time is not on his side here.
Outside trip again from Healy.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Who would have thought it? Coming in with his stats, boxing, kickboxing, and he's going for the takedown. And he's scoring them as well.
Absolutely. One thing that's also beautiful about this performance is you're seeing the man at 37 go 3 hard rounds against a successful amateur and a guy making his pro debut. So it's very clear Higgins had a great camp. It's very clear he means business as a professional. What's also outstanding is Healy's ability to drag him into deep waters and go for 15 minutes flat out.
And Healy has definitely done that in this fight. He has moved from position to position. And look at the show of respect there from the other camp. Fantastic.
Spectacular. And it's going to be interesting to see how the judges have scored this one when the numbers come in. Healy and Higgins, though, really had to dig deep there. They had to reach into the depths of what they've put into this training camp. And they went all the way the distance, 3 rounds. How do you see it?
Very, very close call. I think Healy for dominance, striking ability, scoring the takedowns. I definitely think Healy's got it.
We'll see whether Dynamite Songers is correct with the unofficial scorecards here at ringside. Buddy Johnson taking delivery of the judge's verdict, and he will make it all official momentarily here in Birmingham at MMAC 2.
After 3 exciting rounds, we go to our judges' scorecards. And your winner by unanimous decision, Brett Healy!